Successful marrow transplant with her older brother Jordan as her donor. In 2011, Gabby relapsed. She had to have a second transplant with a cord blood donor. As you can see, as we can all see, Gabby is doing extremely well. She says that her greatest gift is life. Gabby had 3 wishes. She would wish that cancer didn't exist, that she had an endless supply of Sour Patch Kids, and that she had a good singing voice. Gabby's 5 greatest attributes are her intelligence, her humor, her independence, her compassion, and her friendliness. The one item that Gabby cannot live without, her cell phone. She wants to be a pediatric nurse when she grows up. Let's welcome Gabby to this stage.
I want to say thank you for everyone to come out, and a special thanks to Miss and Mr. Hendricks for all the great things you do. I really appreciate it. So thank you.
All right, if you've been here before, everybody remembers Henry. Come on up here, Henry. So Henry had 2 marrow transplants at the age of 7 to treat Kosman's syndrome. It's a type of severe chronic neutropenia. Henry was diagnosed when he was very young, now celebrates 7 years post-transplant. That's hard to believe. Henry aspires to be a professional basketball coach when he grows up. He's decided that if he can't grow tall enough to play in the NBA, he can learn how to be the world's greatest coach. Henry admires Kobe Bryant. He met Kobe through Make-A-Wish. Kobe changed his jersey number from 8 to 24. He told Henry that the reason for that was you have to live your life working hard 24 hours a day, not just 8 hours a day. Henry has the following advice for anyone looking for their match or undergoing transplant. First, you must believe that you can do it. Next, you never, ever give up. That's exactly the message that Henry delivered to the University of Michigan football team before they play their arch rivals from Notre Dame. Henry also has a secret talent. We're told that he has some wicked dance moves. Will you be demonstrating the wicked dance moves? Henry's looking at me. He's like, they just told me I had to get up here and say a few things. So let's welcome Henry.
I have a present for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Can I tell?
You can.
Okay, this is the #1 New York Times bestseller. It's Phil Jackson, and it's called 11 Rings. Mr. H, you might be able to relate to that.
And then I have something for Mr. Hendrick too. Me and my 3 brothers saved up all of our allowance, and we decided that we're going to donate it to Mr. Hendrick.
How many times have you done this?
Ever since the
Ever since the first
first time.
time that he's been here, they've taken their allowance and given it to the program. Folks, this is what it's all about. Thank you. Thank you.
before you go, allowance is kicked up a notch because the first couple of years it was coins, man. Well, you guys are living up there, huh? On the screen, I believe we're going to see Isaac. Isaac and his family joined us for the first time this evening. His parents, Daniel and Mindy, came to the event last year, and we are so thrilled that they could join us this time. Within 3 weeks of Isaac's birth in October of 2011, he was diagnosed with Fanconi anemia and a host of other issues. He has a dream team of 12 doctors following him at Levine Children's Hospital. Fanconi anemia does not define Isaac, and that's important. What defines him is a sweet spirit, an infectious smile, and a quick wit. He's already figured out how to feed the family dog Maggie any of the food that he does not care to eat at the dinner table. Isaac has great taste in music. His favorite songs are King of Kings by the Donut Man and Boy in a Bubble by Paul Simon. His current favorite book is Mr. Brown Can Moo, Can You? And he also has a spot in his heart for Winnie the Pooh. Isaac's favorite meal is avocado and mushrooms, and to this little guy, there is no one in the world like Daddy. Now, Isaac, we did not schedule according to his schedule, so Isaac is home for bedtime. But I bet you if we clap just loud enough, you might be able to hear a little bit here from tonight. Let's welcome Isaac. Samantha A. is another new friend of ours. Let's welcome her to the stage. Samantha, welcome. Samantha was diagnosed with aplastic anemia in December of 2010. She had a transplant at the Levine Children's Hospital in 2011. If Samantha had 3 wishes, she would want her family to live in peace, she would want the world to have peace, and to be able to control the weather. Like that. There's some people in NASCAR that would like to have that very skill for race days. Samantha loves her parents because they are funny, they're sweet, they're gross, silly, amazing, smart, nice, and, remember the last one? Freaky. I'm sure they're thrilled to hear this. Samantha enjoys playing soccer. She scored her first goal in the team's first game this season. Yeah. Samantha is pleased when people comment on her good manners. Excellent. She has a huge heart, but she likes to give the impression that she is tough. Very tough? You think so. You look tough. Samantha thinks the ideal amount for an allowance based on how well she cleans her room would be 50 cents a week. The parents in here are like, yes, 50 cents. And when I go home, I'm telling my kids, you get 50 cents. Samantha admires her grandma because she lived on a farm and she raised her mother, who is a great woman. She believes God is the being who is out beyond the stars. Let's welcome Samantha to the stage. I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to give her a boost. And my question for Samantha is, can you tell these people who your donor was? You ready?
My brother Logan.
You guys are an amazing pair, and we thank you so much for being here. Thank you, guys. Our next guest is Will. It's great to see you again, bud. the anemia. He's been on therapy to stimulate his bone marrow for well over 6 years. Average response time to this treatment is only 5 years. Once his body becomes immune to the steroid treatments, the only other option is a bone marrow transplant. Unfortunately, at this point, Will does not have a perfect match, not yet, and his 5-year survival rate is less than 50%. Will and his mom are anxiously awaiting the results from his annual bone marrow biopsy that was done at Levine Children's Hospital on Friday. Will's greatest admiration is for his pop, who has passed away. Pop was a great man. He was a leader, and he was well liked by everyone. Will was named after him, and he has a bracelet that belonged to his pop engraved with William C. Lackey. Will's favorite day is St. Patrick's Day, because it also happens to be his birthday. Will likes to play basketball. He loves animals. He's looking forward to getting a driver's license soon. Will I be sharing the roadways with you, Will? Will thinks the perfect amount for an allowance would be enough for him to buy his first car. If that doesn't work, his 3 wishes would be to start with the wish for a car, then a house with a backyard, and simply to be healthy. One of the amazing things about Will is that he's healthy now, even though the doctors weren't sure of his prognosis for a long time. Other than God, the person he looks up to is Mr. Hendrick, because he survived leukemia